Well, hello. Thanks for stopping by. We're starting off here in the asset editor, a little time lapse. I'm doing some editing on the sculpture park that I used in the build on the last episode. I just wanted to scoot the sides in, those hedgerows, just to make it a little bit more compact. And the other thing that I'm going to do is to make a second variation and basically just replace the sculptures with some different sculptures, also all from the Steam workshop. Although this one here, this one is actually from the plazas and promenades, and I decide that I don't want to use it here. I kind of want to save it. I figure it's probably already in some of the assets from the game, so I think maybe it would be best if I don't use that here. This is a good one though. This is called Cross Blades, I think, and it's by Alexander Calder. That one's kind of an odd one, but it hasn't been used anywhere else so far, so I may as well use it. So just looking for one that fits the right size. Most of these are too small or too big. Way too big. This is a good one though. I'm not sure who the real life artist is on this, but this is another one that I found on the workshop. And so basically that's all I wanted to do, is just create a second version so that the two sculpture parks that are side by side don't have repeating the same exact sculptures. Both of these are on the workshop now in the SanShabbadoo asset collection. The link is down below. All right, so we're back in the city here, and looks like after changing that asset, it's not showing up. And I did have some difficulty getting it to load. I wonder, is it here now? I had to go back to the workshop and subscribe to it because for some reason it had disappeared off of my list. Okay, here it is. It disappeared off of my list after I edited. Okay, so it's wanting to pop to that. I wonder. Let's just go ahead and delete these. So I'm going to put one on this side, and the other on this side, and then I'm going to need to move them a little bit. The things I did was to scoop these hedges back in because I don't want them to clip, and yeah, it is. It's kind of clipping there with that building, isn't it? Still a little bit odd, but I think it's kind of better. Something that I've just thought of is, I wonder if I can put my little entrance asset here, use that, connect it with these. Where is it? Yeah, I guess not. It's too big. So I could just sort of leave the textures popping in, or I could make sure that it's connected by adding back that little segment of path. I think I'll add back that little segment of path just to make it straight, I think, more than anything. Make them a little bit more even. Yeah, that looks better. And I think there should be enough room. There's a few other things that I want to do, and one of the things that I'm going to be doing is turning this area, not this one, this area into a park. I need to do a little landscaping here and some fence, some entrances, and obviously there's going to need to be quite a bit of fencing around here. Another thing here was that I thought this would be good place for my meander to and fro pieces. So I want to put those in there as well. Meander 2. And meander fro. I was just watching one of Teddy Radko's videos where he replaced the church in the cemetery, and he did a really cool build with vanilla assets where he changed the church around. I don't think I want to get quite as involved as that, but I do agree that it needs a better church. So I grabbed a couple of things off the workshop. I'm gonna see if there's anything that really does well. I don't know, it could be that they don't work. We'll try them together, because I just want I want something different, but at the same time, one thing I've done in my other cities was I actually used these assets that I first learned about from Overcharged Egg, which is this one, this realistic working cemetery. And this is pretty good for creating your own situation. But I kind of like the idea of, there's not really religion so much in the game, except for with the cemetery, so it sort of combines with death care, which makes a lot of sense in a way, because one of the things that religion functions that it fulfills in society is, dealing with people's beliefs about what happens after you die. So death care, church, religion takes care of that rather nicely. But I want to see, I got these churches, I just want to see if I can stick these in here. That's facing the other way. I might have to put a road on it or something to get it to work. This one, yeah, and again, it's gonna have to have a road. This one almost covers up the chapel, but it doesn't really look that different from the one that's there. So I don't know how much of an improvement it is. I'm not sure what's up with this one. It's not letting me click on it. I don't know. Oh, because I haven't unlocked it yet. I have to reach a population of 17,000. Oh, because this one actually functions as a crematorium, which I thought was kind of cool. So this one would be good, but I have to have, it has to have a road connection. I wonder if there is a way of doing that that would make sense. And I've got these great little 1-unit roads, and these are in my asset list. They are by Delta 5-1, I believe. They've been up on the workshop for a really long time, and I find them really useful. And one thing that's pretty cool about this is it essentially is the same size as these pathways. Maybe, what if I just make this kind of go around the outside, sort of like an access road. Of course, I'm not really happy with that. I think possibly I might need to move the whole thing over so that I don't have to create a new intersection. Okay, well, come on, move it. And this actually might make sense, even though there's not really... Maybe I wonder if I could sneak a gate on there or something onto the back of it, because there is actually no parking here for the chapel. It would be cool if I could stick a little back gate on there. But we could just put some parking over here, maybe. Or parking over here. Or how about this? This makes more sense to put the parking. Put the parking over on this side. And it's a little bit larger, isn't it? It's not quite the right size. So I think maybe I can use some of my custom parking. Now, some of these assets that I've made, they're really nothing special. But they are quite handy sometimes. Like in a situation like this where... Oh, that's the wrong one. Oh, I clicked on it. Where I really only have room for 3 deep parking. And they're really the most very basic of assets. I suppose that it's plenty of parking for this one church. And then let's just see now if it will allow me to place that church. Is it this one? I think it was this one. Yeah, okay. but I have to adjust it a little bit here. To make it, see, now, I think I've tried to do this before too. I've tried to unlock the fence so that I could put an opening, but it's part of the mesh. It's not like a network. This fence is not a network. It's part of the mesh. So I can't use the network multi-tool here to unlock it. Yeah, and I can't bob it either. It doesn't show up. So just like the chapel, you can't get rid of it. You can't replace it. The only thing you can do is cover it up. But I think that I like the way that looks. But I feel kind of the need to make this make sense somehow. And I think maybe an Asian temple gate is going to look a little weird with this clearly Occidental church. But something like that is what I need, really. Even though it's not going to function as a gate, it will look like there's some sort of a gate there. Yeah. Brancusi's Gate of the Kiss, some fine art there. That's not going to quite do it. How about a door? Do we have anything? An outhouse? Would that be tacky? Go through the outhouse to get to the church? I'm not sure. Yeah, all right. Well, I think I'm okay with a little bit of ruining and tearing here. It's not too much. And smooth that out a little bit. Bit of a slope here. It's not ideal. I think it works, and I kind of like having that central location of the church and cemetery because it's the only one we have so far. So, that's another thing, is the church is sort of like a social hub, so it makes sense that it would be right in the middle here. Okay. So, park. I've got to paint out a park area. Okay, so I think I want to use the small main gate, and I think right around there is a good spot. Okay, Oh, this is something I'm going to play with a little bit later, too. There's a, what is it, Spice of the Month or something like that, contest over on Overcharged Eggs Discord, and the theme is beaches. So I am going to try at some point to build a nice beach, and I found these assets, these park assets from the workshop, and the creator's name is Wee Wee, and I'm going to fool around with those. I'm not sure the location yet, but something that was kind of interesting was maybe over here by the high school. This might be a good place for a beach park, right? I mean, if you were a kid in high school and there was a beach right next to your high school, wouldn't that be a really cool place to go and hang out after school? I think it would be. Okay, so I'm going to put another entrance over here, and then, as I've said, another entrance over here. All right, now obviously there's going to need to be some terraforming over here, and I'll probably turn these into elevated. Also want to do a little bit more adjusting of the highway here to get the lane maths nice and even, I guess would be the word. Yeah. Now, right now I have these lane maths done where I reduce this down to 2 lanes, but I'm not sure as the city grows, this is really the big main intersection. I'm wondering if it would make sense. What I usually do is I'll just make a section of 4 lanes here, right, where it goes from 3 lanes to 4 lanes, and then the 1 lane goes off. That's what I'm thinking of doing. Now here is a weird situation, because if I do that here, make this 4 lanes, then it's probably going to need to still be 4 lanes when it connects with this. This does seem to be kind of the highest traffic, so I was thinking I might just make this whole off-ramp 4 lanes and have the 4 lanes here just turn into 4 lanes, 2 lanes and 2 lanes, if that makes sense. Anyway, all of this stuff is probably going to make more sense if I do it in a time lapse, because it's going to take me quite a long time. So let's just go ahead and get started with it. Okay, it looks like my list of presets is now empty, which was a bit unexpected. I had quite a few of them before. I saw that there was a update notification of the IMT plugin, so I don't know what happened. Maybe when the plugin updated, it erased my presets. But, I guess it's all par for the course, and may as well just take this opportunity to show everybody real quickly how this plugin works if you don't already know. So basically, I'm clicking here, I hold down Shift, makes a solid line between points. If I just go across, it makes a dashed line. Most of you will probably know this already if you're watching this video. And then if I hold down the Alt key, I can make a filler. And usually this would be a chevron. And you can tell it which point to point the chevron towards. I can point it towards this one. Doesn't look right. This one doesn't look right. So it's actually, this one is the right one. And this is a really great function here, is the presets. Of course, if they all get deleted, it's less useful. But if you click up here on the top and tell it to save it as a preset, it'll take a little screenshot. You can give it a name, something simple. This is 3 lanes to 2 plus 1 lanes. So I'll just use that as a shorthand. Then you click check, and then you can use that preset on another spot. Of course, for this, I'm going to need to flip it and I guess rotate it. Yeah, and now it's right. And so that will save you a little bit of time when you're marking up your intersections. So I'm going to go ahead and take a little time and mark up all of the intersections here on this little stretch of highway. And I'll be back in a minute. Okay, this one is a little different, so I'm going to need to make a different preset for it. This will be a, whoops. You can also change what type of line it is there in that menu, but the quick way, of course, is to, if I start the line and then I hold down Shift, it will make it a solid line. The default is just a dash line. Yeah, this one is going to be 4 into 2 plus 2. So that's how the presets work. And I am going to continue marking up the highway and talk to you in a little bit. highways marked up and a whole lot of fences put down. And basically the park area is all marked off now. And I can start thinking about how I want these pathways to go. I think I have enough room to kind of go under the bridge here. I don't know if I want to get rid of that hill and make more. One of the reasons that I decided to make this green space here around the highway interchange into a park is I live in China, and I noticed that all of the little green spaces around the highway are used for something. It's just empty space in the US where I'm from, but here every single spot of green land is used for something. It's mostly like little orchards and little farms and stuff down inside of these highway interchanges. I thought that was really cool that they really value every little bit of green space that they have. And I wanted to kind of emulate that and just sort of take advantage, take this thing that is a necessary evil and turn it into a feature. Make it something that is useful and beautiful and that people will really enjoy. All right. Just kind of going across, turn off my angle snapping here. I'll adjust that, I think, in a minute. I do like having these go over the highway signs, although I realized that after I did node controller on the previous overpass, it no longer does that, but that's all right. So that's 2 units, right? Yeah, 2 units. And then back down. One thing I didn't realize is that you can just hit the home key to go back down. I was going down in increments with the page up and page down buttons. Now this is one place where my presets being gone is going to hurt a little bit, because I had a preset for turning pedestrian paths into stairs, so I'm going to have to do that one again. But if you haven't already seen the way they do it, I learned about it from Overcharged Egg, and let's just see if I can make this and show you how it's made. Actually, let's move this. Let's move this offset to where, okay, that's at 0, and then this one we want to move it until it's straight. And then I think I need to make this, no, that's not what I want to do. I want to actually make it, I think I have to do this before I can turn it into a middle node. There we go. Yeah. Okay, so intersection marking tool has this really cool feature where you can make a line and then you can actually put a prop on that line, and there are these vanilla steps that you can use as the props, and I can change the angle. I think it's 90 degrees, and I can shift them over. I can make the step between them smaller, and I can lift the elevation up a little bit. until they make some lovely little stair steps. Oops. I think that's pretty good. Let's look at it from the side. Oh, it's not letting me out of this window, so I will not press my key to move the camera. And actually the concrete one looked pretty good with the whatever city park pathway here. So I like that. Okay, so I'm going to call this concrete pedestrian path stairs. And then I can copy that and paste it on the other side. So that's how that works. It's pretty fun, and of all of the different ways that we can make stairs on pedestrian paths, I think this is the easiest and the most effective and the nicest looking, although I think I'm going to have to adjust that elevation there. That's a bit abrupt. Perhaps that is not ideal. Okay, yeah, that's much better. I'll have to adjust that preset later as well. So this is just a line on the, according to the intersection marking tool. So I think what I'm going to have to do with this one is adjust this. Yeah, okay. So once I get this at the right length, then the stairs pop the right way. Okay, so nice little pedestrian path across the highway. I'm probably going to do some more of these to fill out the rest of the park, and then I can start placing some park assets. Another tool that I use a lot, and I first saw Akruas use this. He does some really amazing city skylines modded builds, and he gets into procedural objects and stuff, makes these futuristic cities. He also does this really great historical series, like this Western Europe, socialist Western Europe. But this is a tool he uses a lot off the workshop. It's just called a ruler, and you know, I use it to check the elevations of bridges, just to make sure that there's enough room here for people to get underneath. I might have space to put some sort of a park asset over here. We'll just have to see. So I guess I'm going to do a little time lapse here and start detailing the park. Okay, I'm going to talk over the time lapse here a little bit. It's episode 5 now. Sort of feels like I'm pretty much committed now to this series. And something I've been thinking about a lot lately is why am I even making this City Skyline YouTube series? It's not because I want to strike it rich with all that sweet ad revenue. Clearly, that's not the case. And it's not really because I'm looking for validation from likes and subscribers, although that would be appreciated. It's really not my main goal. It has been pretty difficult making these. I've had quite a bit of bad luck, and there's a lot of limitations, as you probably have noticed. My equipment isn't great. It's an old laptop, and it lags a lot. The cinematics aren't smooth. The gameplay is a little bit slow. My FPS isn't great. Lost files, bad renders. It's been pretty discouraging, and I've been tempted to give up a few times. So I've thought about it. Why am I doing it? And this is what I realize. I love City Skylines, and the reason is because it's a game that encourages creativity and imagination. I love the City Skylines community because it's encouraging, knowing that there are so many kind, interesting, creative, imaginative people out there in the world. The media loves baddies because they get clicks, and too much of the media is dominated by that negativity. It really can give someone the impression that the majority of humankind is, pretty unsavory. Watching City Skylines players is really comforting and inspiring because they're usually just absolute gems of people. Makes me feel good knowing that these, genuine, sincere, beautiful people are out there in the world, and that's why I love to watch them. It's a really positive experience. I've mentioned before that my career is as an artist and art teacher and musician. I spent a lot of time thinking about what my role in society is, what's the meaning of my life. And one of my big art heroes is Brian Eno, and he talks a lot about the importance of imagination. And I think one of the biggest ills in society today is the lack of development of people's capacity for imagination. I said in the last episode something about the ability to imagine is what separates us from animals, which is a paraphrase of something I heard Eno say. I should probably qualify that, though. I'm not saying animals don't imagine. I think maybe I should say the capacity for imagination rather than ability, because I believe animals do have imagination as well. Anyway, I digress. I believe the rise in political extremism and violence and the general climate of fear and corruption we've been experiencing more and more in recent years is rooted in this lack of imagination. Our greatest attribute, in my opinion, and it's been often marginalized, especially in education over the years, and it has atrophied as a result. Imagination is like a muscle, and I sort of see my role as an art teacher to be sort of an imagination coach, a bit of a creativity cheerleader, if you will. So the primary reason I'm making these videos is because it's my hope that maybe someday I'll be able to use the potential of this platform to increase the reach of my ability to promote and encourage creativity and imagination. Another side effect of making these videos is that it's enabling me to look at myself different and see myself from a different perspective, which is helping me to develop some skills that I realize need work. As I watch and edit these videos, I become aware of things like how I say "so" a lot and how I kind of make this smacking sound too often. And I realize that I also have this tendency to kind of start mumbling when I get focused on what I'm doing. They're all things that I think it's useful for me to be aware of them so that I can try and improve them. And that'll help me become a better teacher, which is what's most important. And really, I see that my YouTube videos are really kind of an extension of my role as a teacher. All right, let's look at our park here. I think this really improves the area, right? It was just kind of a noisy, messy auto interchange here, highway interchange. And now, even though there's still all of these cars driving through here, as they drive through, they're thinking, oh, wow, look at all of the trees. Oh, cool, there's some art. Nice rocks, right? And people, it may be a little bit noisy with the trucks driving through and stuff, but it's still a little bit of nature. It's still nicer than it was before, and it is a place where, you can sort of get away for a minute. Maybe all of the trees will kind of counteract the exhaust from the cars. And the art will give you a little bit of pause to think about the meaning of life. Something I probably do a little too often, but that's just my style. Anyhow, I guess I could put I don't know, maybe not conifers, it's a little too tropical for that. I could just keep going, adding more and more trees to this. Never have too many trees. Actually, you can. It can start to look a little too cluttered. I'm right on the borderline of that right now, but I think overall I'm pretty happy with it. Let's just take a little walk around here. Right? You just kind of cruise down this path, go under the bridge, get across the highway. I want to do whatever I can to make highways less of a community divider. Right? You got to have highways there, but you want people to still feel welcome to be on both sides of the highway. So a nice, pleasant walk to go through here and go across, get around all this transportation infrastructure. And instead of making it an eyesore, make it some eye candy. Make it beautiful. Right? It almost makes the highway ramps and stuff look like a part of the features, right? It almost looks like some special kind of sculptural, architectural elements here instead of just being this big, concrete, imposing thing, right? It's nice. Little cafe, maybe not too noisy. Got a little view here. You can watch the trams rather, and just kind of check everything out. Well, I think that's probably all I'm going to have time for today. Lots of residential demand. I'm going to probably need to expand into this area next episode, but I just wanted to get that little centralized park just to kind of tie the community together. And then of course our church over here, right? All of our walkways. This probably could use some detailing, but I'm not sure. I may put some more buildings here There might be some sort of a service that I need. Haven't gotten into post office yet. That's something from the industry DLC that I've yet to even explore. So there's that. Don't really have much industrial demand. So I guess I'll wait to start on the industrial builds I have planned. I want to make this like a farming area. Probably do some forestry and some more over here. And then I also was talking about a beach build, and I might do a little beach build down over here. But I think that is probably enough for today. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. And I'll see you later. Bye.